well, have a nice balance, and have a love for what you're doing.
If you had one piece of advice for someone starting out with a great idea, what would it be?
The piece of advice I would have is to make sure it's actually a great idea that represents a business opportunity, because we all have these great ideas. We think they're great ideas. But the key is it's not a business unless you have customers that are willing to buy it, and there's a lot of them out there. We can have these wonderful ideas, but unless we do the kind of the due diligence and we do some of the things that are necessary to kind of find out, hey, does this idea represent a business opportunity? We're going to be chasing something that's nothing more than a dream.
Listening to My Awesome Empire. Coming up, we'll meet a Moreno Valley pilot who's looking forward to more flight time and his 14th birthday. Don't go anywhere.
Start college as a student. Start growing as a leader. Start your career as an officer. Start strong. When you register to take Army ROTC course electives, you'll be on the path to leadership. You'll also learn lessons that go beyond the classroom. And as an Army ROTC cadet, you may be eligible for full tuition scholarship and a monthly allowance of up to $500. When you graduate and complete Army ROTC, you will leave ready to lead as an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. To find out more, visit your Army ROTC representative. Contact Army ROTC San Bernardino at 909-537-5533 or visit armyrotc.csusb.edu for more information. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong, paid for by the United States Army.
Welcome back to My Awesome Empire. As we close our program today, we introduce you to 13-year-old pilot Dominic McClure.
My name is Dominic McClure. I live in Moreno Valley, California. My greatest abilities are playing basketball, playing soccer, playing baseball, just doing sports all around, and flying airplanes. At first, I was pretty scared to fly planes, but I learned by paying attention and focusing more. I used to be scared of heights, but now I'm not afraid of heights, and I'm always ready to go up in a plane. I'm in a program called Civil Air Patrol, and they give us opportunities to go flying in the planes, so that's where I got my first opportunity. I'm 13. When people say that kids can't do the same thing as adults, I prove them wrong by going and doing the same thing that adults can do. I believe I can do anything that I want to do in this world.
Thanks, Dominic, and thank you for joining us today for My Awesome Empire. Produced entirely by students at Cal State San Bernardino who love to tell the stories of the Inland Empire. Do you know of an incredible war veteran who should be recognized? Do you know an extraordinary community volunteer or a chef? We'd love to hear about them. Write to us. My Awesome Empire at csusb.edu. Thanks to student producer co-hosts Aaron Campbell and Arnold Robles, engineer Brenda Ortiz, and chief production engineer Arnold Robles. Finally, some music on our program was written and performed by music student Trevor Glowden. My Awesome Empire is a production of the College of Arts and Letters at California State University, San Bernardino. Until next time, I'm Lacey Kendall. Have an awesome week.
You're listening to Kcaa Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Ha, yeah, y'all know what time it is. So just sit back and relax because the show's about to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, everybody. This is Kcaa AM 1050 Talk Radio. You are listening to Down to Earth Talk, and this is Let's Talk Community with David Phillips, a.k.a. Mr. Inland Empire. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Sorry I missed my last show. I was braving the awesome weather in Idaho celebrating with family. And I was actually driving back from Reno when the show was supposed to be going on last week. So apologize for missing out, but had a blast. Do not want to live in California anymore after being in Idaho. So, but had a great time. I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving. I hope you guys ate a lot of good food, spent time with family, and did not get crazy. We have a really cool guest returning to the show for a repeat appearance. But before we get to that, I just wanted to take a moment to express my condolences to the people who lost their lives in the terrorist attack that we had about a week and a half ago in San Bernardino. If we learned nothing else from this situation, was that no community is free from being a part of terrorism. It can happen anywhere, and I think one thing we need to learn from some of the interviews and stuff that were done on TV were. One of the things that stood out to me were the people in Redlands who lived in that neighborhood where the FBI went in and made entry into that house, and they had talked about all of the odd things they had seen in and out of that house for months. And nobody said anything because of political correctness or because they weren't sure how it was supposed to sound. And your cops, your public safety, especially as we're going to learn today, they're not really paying attention to what you're saying about someone's ethnicity. They're looking for, there might be a problem with this residence, and we need to come and make contact. We need to come out with our trained eyes and see. So we need to, as I've been telling people, now's the time to start speaking up when we see things and not let things go just because we're uncomfortable. And if you are uncomfortable, everyone's got a nosy neighbor. Tell your nosy neighbor. Your nosy neighbor will tell the police. So I'm that nosy neighbor. So if anyone in my neighborhood that listens to the radio show is uncomfortable about craziness going on in the neighborhood, tell me. I'm the nosy guy. I'll tell the police officer. So, but we just want to give our condolences. We actually had a couple people from Rialto that were victims of this, and Rialto was pretty affected by this situation with the shooter. One of the shooters, had contact with some of our most favorite businesses, as a health inspector, and he had some photos that made everyone a little uncomfortable. But we were lucky that we have the police department, the public safety people in our community that really were on top of things, and they're there to make sure that we're safe. And that's a perfect segue into introducing who I have sitting to my right, which is Corporal Greg Marquez from the Rialto PD. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
It's good to have you on the show again. Last time we were talking about the reentry program.
Correct.
And now we got some more stuff to talk about, some really cool things. This is kind of like this isn't our last show because we will be back on the 26th, the day after Christmas. But this is really a great opportunity to kind of wrap up 2015, talk about some things that are going to be changing. Everything I think is for the best, because even though we are going to be talking about some people, moving on to bigger and better things, it's just the perfect time for it. They're good people get to move on to, better things. That's just what happens in life. I think when you make the right choices and you do things for the right reasons, doors open up for you in the future. So, first, let's talk about some of the, first off, I wanted to talk about, we had spoke a little bit back and forth via text message, and what was the perception? What did Rialto PD kind of take away from what happened in San Bernardino with the terrorist attacks? I know we had some of our SWAT guys there, and I don't know if we had anyone outside of SWAT that responded, but we were a really close agency. So we saw people from Beaumont, Riverside. Right. So I'm pretty sure if those agencies were there, we had a few people, extra people there. So what kind of was the feeling of the officers afterwards from all that?
Yeah, like you said, there was probably 200-300 officers from all over the Inland Empire and Southern California that responded, and that's what police departments do. We help each other out. We back each other up when we need that mutual aid. We need mutual assistance. Our patrol officers did respond. Also, Inland Valley SWAT did respond to the scene to assist, and the command post and following up with whatever San Bernardino sheriffs and San Bernardino PD had needed our assistance on. So there was a lot of resources out there. There was a lot of officers there to support the citizens and support the crime scene, and it was a good collaboration. It was pretty organized, and listening to the radio and talking to the officers, something they'll never forget. And I think that their training in Inland Valley SWAT and even training at the patrol level, we've trained in the past for active shooter situations. So I think that in this incident, it was something that police departments all around have been preparing for. It's something that we train for. And when it finally happens, it was good to know that the command post was set up. Someone was taking charge, and San Bernardino PD did a great job taking charge of that event. And talking to the officers who responded to the scene, it was very tragic. It was very surreal, as they described it. I did not respond to the scene. I was working that day, but
somebody had to stay home and watch the house, right?
Right, and we did, We extra patrolled our county centers, and anywhere that was densely populated. We have the behavioral health building on Foothill and Pepper. We have the transitional assistance department on Cactus and Foothill. So we were watching our city, so we keep everything safe. But it was a very tragic event, and I don't think anyone will ever forget what happened, and it was very very saddening to hear.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right, San Bernardino PD, given what you know about, what I know and what you hear about the department and the city and everything that's going through, that day, they looked like nothing. Like they were just the same as any other agency. They weren't having any problems. The chief, I gave him props. He stepped up to the plate, and he was professional. But I felt like he gave the community the information they needed without giving too much. He handled the press perfectly. I've actually never seen him out doing a press conference myself personally, but in that moment, it looked like he was an old hat, and he'd just been doing it forever. So he did a really good job. The agencies did a really good job, and all the departments, all our public safety agencies, just everyone made us. It didn't feel as bad as it really was, in my opinion. So, yeah. So, props to everybody wearing a badge, whether you're a firefighter, cop, or, paramedic, whatever. Everyone did an outstanding job. It was kind of cool. There was some really neat pictures that, the fire department and PD took of them in action and stuff. I like seeing that. I hang around cops a lot. I like that. So, that was cool. So let's transition to something a little more upbeat. Let's talk about some of the stuff you guys have got coming up. You said you got a couple things. We were talking earlier about a couple things you got coming up that you wanted to talk about. So,
yes, with the new year with the new year coming up, we have some recent retirements that are coming up. Also, our chief, William Farrar, is going to be retiring after 34 years in law enforcement. Also, Lieutenant Thompson's going to be retiring. One of our senior records clerks is also retiring, Kathy Solano.
Oh.
We also had Sergeant Black, who recently retired, and Sergeant Shepard, who recently retired. So,
well, Black retired?
Yes.
He's not that old. What's he doing?
So with these retirements, it's made a lot of room for movement in our department, and we have rotations through our special assignments, but there's been a lot of movement between with the captains, lieutenants. Captain Deanna is going to be moving up as our next chief. We have Captain Carroll, and now we'll have Captain Wilson coming up to the second captain spot. And then we have Lieutenant Harden, and then along with Lieutenant Harden and Lieutenant Krakowski, we'll have Lieutenant Smith and Lieutenant Lane. He'll be coming up.
Oh, cool.
From sergeant to lieutenant. So then sergeants move up. We've just promoted 4 new sergeants, and then we'll have some of the corporals that promoted as well. So all throughout all of our admin and lower line supervision, a lot of promotions, and that makes room for more of the special assignments. So that's kind of a new thing. That's kind of new and exciting because we have such a young department, and we have a lot of experienced officers and a lot of young officers. So it gives that flexibility to move around and learn different things, whether it's narcotics or gangs or some of our other special assignments. We have a lot of special assignments, so it's really cool to see for the younger officers to have that opportunity to move around too. So we have our interviews. The interviews are going on this week, so it's kind of exciting coming into the new year and new beginnings for everyone, and new administration, new vision, and I have to give props to our chief because Chief Farrar did a great job These last few years have been excellent. As far as the Axon body cameras made worldwide news, giving positive press, for our department. And as far as like our equipment, our training, we're constantly receiving training, which is very beneficial to all officers. So, it's things are good with Rialto PD.
Chief Ferrara really brought Rialto to the forefront when it came to dealing with transparency and law enforcement. And what I love most is how we saw the litigation for use of force complaints drop like a rock. It was awesome. And really, I've known quite a few of the chiefs going through the years, and Chief Ferrara has probably one that had the most open door policy I've ever seen in my time. I am very familiar and have a good relationship with Chief Tienda, but Chief Ferrara, he really had that open door policy. You could stop him, he's out and about, he would have a conversation with you. He never kind of pushed you off like, well, I'm not going to deal with that kind of thing. So really good guy, really good guy. So
and that was one of his visions is to open up every line of communication with the community. So we have the coffee with the chief, and obviously National Night Out. We're part of that event along with the city of Rialto, and even like radio shows like this, allowing officers to come out and talk about what's going on in the department is. He wanted for us to get out there and talk to people and interact with the community. So that was kind of even just a segue into like my new team. That's what we're going to be tasked in doing is more of the community-oriented policing and handling a variety of different I'm actually managing a lot of the programs, the community-oriented policing programs that we have, because if you look on our website, we have all kinds of different programs for the community. So a lot of different services available to the community. So it's exciting. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. And what do we call it? You guys have a couple of events coming up. You have a Hearts to Share toy drive.
Yes. Our volunteers, along with Linda Burke, one of our head volunteers, and Noretta Barker, one of our LATs, are some of the main coordinators for the Hearts to Share program. And there's a lot of people that are part of that committee. I can't think of everyone's name right now, but just to name a few. And it's a great program where families in Rialto can sign up and give a toy list, like a wish list, and we get donations from the community and businesses and officers in the department, and they're going to be delivering those toys to the kids on the 21st of this month. So, and it's really cool. They go out with the police cars and the lights and Santa and the whole show and stuff. So
that's cool.
It's cool. It's a good positive thing so that kids see us out and about in the community as well. And there's so many different community projects that all our officers kind of participate in, as far as like just, being visible with the community.
Yeah, I like it. I remember when my oldest daughter, who's 6 now, when she was real little, we had brought, as we normally do, and everybody needs to listen to this. We bring cookies, and actually my wife brought a full ham dinner last year for Christmas up to the station and put it in the break room for the officers who had to work on Christmas Eve. But one of the first years we did it when my oldest was little, Lieutenant Crispin, my favorite guy. I swear, that guy, I'll never forget him. I'll have Alzheimer's and still remember that guy. He gave my kid a station tour. My wife had never seen the inside of a police station, so he gave it a full tour, and he went over to the box where they have the toys where officers can go and grab stuff if, like, kids just, dad just got arrested or something tragic just happened in their family. Give them, something, or if they run across a family who's got nothing, to go back and, bring something to the family. And he gave my daughter this little doll. She still has to this day. But just going in there and seeing that there's not just what we see with the actual programs that you talk about, but there's so many other things happening behind the scenes, so many other opportunities for our cops to be more than just the people who come in and take people to jail or to write you that ticket when you're busy and you forgot how fast you were going down Foothill.
and it's those little moments that count, like when you go out and throw a football around or play basketball or, interact with the kids, even just handing out stickers and all these little moments, are special to people, and with all the negative press, people forget that, we have families where, we're fathers, we're brothers, we're sons, and, we offer to show that respect and that kindness to other people in the community. And when we see families that need help, we do help. Not expecting, positive media. We need, it to show up on YouTube or anything. And we do it because we care about our community. And most of us, I should take that back. All of us take on this job because we do care. We do care about keeping people safe, and I enjoy wearing the uniform. I enjoy shaking hands and meeting new people and just letting people know we're around,
Yeah. And so another thing that coming up, it's after Christmas, after the New Year, but it's the what you guys are doing to fund a memorial for the fallen officers. Want to talk about that?
Yes. On January 30th, we're having our second 5K run in the city of Rialto. I believe it's starting at Sunrise Church.
Yeah, you guys moved it this year.
Yeah, we moved it to Sunrise Church. Our main coordinator is now Sergeant Vicki Gerard. She's the main coordinator. And if anyone would like to race, it's a walk or run 5K, they could register on racewire.com or on the morning of the 5K run. The signups are at 6:30 and the race starts at 8 o'clock. And I know you mentioned that you had attended the first one last year, and it was a great turnout. We had a lot of people come, a lot of great sponsors. Really cool medals. We still have them. Yeah, we
still have them hanging up on the wall in the living room. And what's funny is my wife had gone to do that. I had just gotten done with cancer surgery. I have a prosthesis in my leg now, so I really don't do much running. But I'm like, I'll walk it.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
And I walked the whole thing. I almost died, but I walked the whole thing. But my wife and daughter, they ran. They after about quarter way in, they're like, "We're gonna run. Is it okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll push the stroller with the baby." So she was 5 at the time, and my wife, my 5-year-old, my wife, they ran the 3/4 of it. They were exhausted, but they had a good time. But it's just the atmosphere out there. It was really cool to see a lot of the other officers involved in the run walk, and it was just, the cause is great.
Right.
And something that we did, my wife picked up on this year, is you guys don't want to wait until 6:30 if you want to get one of those snazzy swag bags, because swag bags are only going to the first how many people?
I don't know exactly on the right number, but you're right. I would suggest,
there's a limited number of swag bags, so sign up early.
Right.
And get there early if you want a shirt that's actually going to fit you.
Right.
My wife didn't get a shirt that fit her last year, but she's signing up early, and she's going to get there early to make sure she gets a shirt. But they did that. She did one at our church, and my daughter's all, "Mommy, can we run the next year?" And I was laughing, so I'm like, "Haha, look what you started."
You're going to wobble it this time, huh?
Well, I'm going to be on the sidelines because I'm not doing that to myself again this year. But yeah, I'm going to be cheering them on from the sidelines. But it's a really good event, and it's a great opportunity to raise money for something that's really positive. Fallen officers. We've had I think 4 that have passed away in Rialto over the years. Thankfully, it's not short term, right? Is it 4?
It's 3.
3? Okay, 3. Sorry, I'm not trying to be prophetic or anything. But we want to be able to have a way to honor those people, because like you said, they are fathers and brothers and husbands and mothers and daughters. And we actually have some very cool, very dedicated female officers in Rialto too.
Yes,
So it's not just boys. It's the girls have gotten in there, and they've really stepped up to help make Rialto safe, and that's really appreciative, because sometimes I think they give more, because if my kids lost their mom, they'd be pretty broken up, because when they're tired of daddy, they go to mommy. So that's cool. So you said you're going to have a new team. We got a few minutes if you want to talk about your new team.
With my new team, I currently run the Rialto Reentry Support Team, and I'm going to take on 2 more additional officers and possibly a 3rd around springtime. So right now we're tasked with coordinating the reentry program, which is the monthly resource events. It's on the 4th Monday of every month at 8:30 a.m. at the Johnson Community Center, located at 214 North Palm. And briefly, what this is coordinating these events. It's collaborating with partners in the community, whether it's county, state, nonprofit, even for-profit businesses who are providing services in the city of Rialto as far as education, behavioral health, healthcare, Narcotics Anonymous. We have Alcoholics Anonymous, the Department of Transitional Assistance. And what it is, it's available to everyone in the community. So they could come out and meet the representatives from all these different organizations at these resource events on the fourth Monday of each month and ask questions, get answers, sign up for different programs. We also have Rialto Family Health Services for people who are trying to, get their felonies reduced to misdemeanors so they could get back into employment. We also have the Public Defender's Office, and our main partnership is with San Bernardino County Probation. My partner, Probation Officer Bradley, and Probation Officer Whitworth help out with coordinating these events and inviting their probationers, and also San Bernardino Parole Unit. But no, people don't have to be on probation or parole to come to the events. It's just for anyone looking for any kind of help that they need. We have workforce development who helps people with getting the resumes together, interviews, how to talk about possible felonies in their background so they could get a job and get back on their feet and get employment. So that's one aspect of my team. Another one is coordinating with crime-free multi-housing, which is beneficial, shows that partnership with the tenants, the managers, and the police department as far as exchanging information, working on different projects as far as if there's any kind of problems in that apartment community. We are also going to be tasked with providing services and even enforcement for the homeless in the city.
That's right. You're talking about.
And we're really focused on enforcing on the panhandling, and what the way we approach that are we have Officer Duque and Officer Haney who are coordinating our homeless team right now, and what they do is they go out and they offer people services. They offer transient men and women out there any kind of services they need, invite them to the monthly resource events, and educate them, just let them know that, hey, if you're panhandling, you're going to be cited, and it's zero tolerance as far as the panhandling. So we offer them resources. We let them know. We provide information for them on different food kitchens and stuff like that, ways to get resources. So those are just a few things. So you could follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. You just follow Rialto Reentry, Instagram, Twitter, and then also keep track of all the PD stuff on the PD website, rialtopd.com.
Cool. Yeah, I really harping back to giving Chief Farrar some positive strokes. One of the things that he had said about a year or so ago, when he brought back community policing, I was like, "Are you gonna ever make it just more than poor Corporal Nelson?" And he's all, "I hope to." So it's kind of nice to see that we're integrating the community-based programs. We're adding additional officers. So he was actually able to do that before he left. And one of the things that he had said recently that is his new goal, and I know that Captain DeAnda is in line with. It has the same goal in mind, is to start doing more with our traffic unit,
right?
Because traffic's one of the things that we really need more enforcement with in the city. I know people are going to get pissed because they're going to start getting tickets, but who cares? But it's one of the things that is lacking in the city,
right? And Chief Deanna, it's exciting because Chief Deanna's been with our department for
a long time,
long time. Yeah. So we're excited as a department to have him step in and take over and just keep the momentum. We have a good momentum. We're good positive stuff with the community. Good. Really good enforcement with our special assignment teams, and especially with traffic. We get the OTS grants for the DUI checkpoints and cell phone enforcement, so stay off your phones. And
yeah, David.
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's really good positive stuff. We're trying to keep everyone safe, and that's all ultimately our ultimate goal. And collaborate with other organizations. So if anyone wants to partner up or they have any kind of services that they can offer, get in contact with us.
Sounds good. And you can hit him up on social media. He's really good about getting back to you, especially on Facebook.
Yes.
So he's really good on Facebook. So before I introduce my buddy and co-host, I wanted to talk about a new client that I just picked up this week. It's Jenny Dance Academy over in Montclair. If you're looking for dance classes, dance services, really cool lady. She actually teaches classes at the Fontana Community Senior Center. She also has her own dance studio in Montclair, and you can find out more about her at jinidanceacademy.com, or you can follow her on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. at Jenny Dance Academy. So give her a little plug there. If you want to give her a call, it's 909-202-9331. That's 909-202-9331. So before we cut out, I would like to introduce my business partner, my DJ, my go-to guy for sound and all things musical, and it is Victor, a.k.a. Little Saint. How you doing,
What's
bro?
up?
I actually had an event on Sunday, the Upland Shop Till You Drop, and I had some of my awesome artists out there performing, and we had a lot of audio problems. I was like, dang, where's Vic? But Vic wasn't there. He was doing his own thing. He's actually doing something really positive that day with the military, so I wanted him to come out and give him a few minutes to talk about what he's been doing, especially with that event. It sounded pretty cool. So
yeah, it was actually really interesting. I enjoyed it. A little nervous because it's the military. You know, you never know. You say one wrong thing, they're gonna wipe you out or something. But in the long run, yeah, it was really good. Santa came out and gave away toys.
You got Santa come from the North Pole?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I called him
I didn't know
up.
you had those kind of connections, bro.
Dude, being an elf and everything, because I'm short.
He's joking on himself.
No, it was really fun. And sorry I missed that event,
It's all good. We
next
know
time.
we all know why, but we'll leave that one there.
Yeah, we raffled off bikes, scooters. I was trying to raffle myself off, but
Nobody wants you.
Nobody wants me. So yeah, as the day progressed, we played music. Somebody texted our phone number with a song request, and I got the idea of sending your song request through a text, which was really cool. And they just pretty much created our song list for the whole DJ gig.
So your job was a lot easier then.
Yeah, as being a DJ, people come up and tell you, play that song that sounds like this, or they try to sing it, and it's just like, don't do that.
Who sings that song again? Oh yeah, let them do it.
Yeah, and then we had one of our good friends, you know him as well, Mel Austin from Squeaky Clean Comedy, come out and with a couple of his friends and put on an awesome comedy show as well. So mad props to him. And whatever events that are coming up sooner or later that you got, I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah, well, we learned I learned the hard way on Sunday that if I want the sound to be right and I want it to be effortless, I know who to go to. So yeah, we had a good time on Sunday, but we had Alexa out. We had Elizabeth Estrella from the city of Rialto. She came out and sang some songs, and it was a good time, good music. It was fun being down there. But yeah, you were sorely missed, my friend.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So.
I'm also working on some new stuff, introducing motivational speaking as well. So if you know any schools, colleges, or extra creativity that they're looking for, motivational speakers, hit me up, because they can also find me on Facebook.com/motivation by Little Saint, or go to my DJ Facebook page.
Little Saint Productions.
Yeah, Facebook.com/Little Saint Productions.
All right. Well, I want to thank Corporal Marquez for coming out. I want to thank Little Saint for coming out. Thank you guys for coming, sitting down with me for the quickest half hour in media. And you can find us at Let's Talk Community on Facebook. Just put that in. You'll find my beautiful face standing behind this microphone, everybody. Have a good one. Merry Christmas and peace.
Little Saint out.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
It's one of the greatest rivalries and traditions in all of sports, and for the 14th straight year, it ended the same way.
Pressure on both sides. He's hit. He spins around and keeps his feet. Near left side, he launches a throw from the 40. They leap, and it's knocked away. Zeros on the board.